right, everyone, welcome to the second episode of the Blood, Sweat, and Business podcast with me, Travis, and my co-business partner, Nate. How are you doing today, Nate?
Doing all right today. Pretty
Doing all
nice day
right.
outside here in Houston, so
Yeah, the weather's been nice for
it has been.
for February, I guess now March, but yeah, no complaints. So first of all, I'd just like to thank anyone who watched our first episode where we kind of introduced the podcast and gave a little background about ourselves and our experience with entrepreneurship and business in general. Kind of like we mentioned today, we're going to be talking about our relationship with the company that we started back in 2019, and that is Joey Co. Um, it's been an adventure, which you'll find out during our discussion today. But I personally, I don't know if I've ever heard Nate explain the background of Joey Co. I feel like I'm always the one that explains it to people. Um, so I kind of want to get your 5 minute rundown of kind of Joey Co. How it started and like your thoughts for like the first little bit that we were running the business.
Okay. So me and Travis had been talking for years about doing something entrepreneurial. Um, and he was living up in Dallas, and of course I was here in Houston. There's a job opening for a buyer planner at my company, NCS Multistage. And convince him to interview and then take the job here. And so we, Travis and his wife, moved in with us for a short time. What was it, 2 years?
Almost 2 years. I think it was like
Almost 2 years.
19 months or something. 19 months too
Yeah,
long.
yeah, exactly. So, um, I guess we shouldn't have gone in business together.
I don't know if that's
Anyhow,
true, but
the whole time that they were here for those 19 months, we talked about businesses nonstop. Nonstop. Of course, as you know from the first episode, I write down business ideas on the daily, basically. And after they moved out, we actually decided to do something. So he had, oh, let's get into the baby niche and figure out some stuff. Travis had been drop shipping some stuff, and some what was it, retail arbitrage, right?
yeah, and used books and
Yeah,
wholesale. I think I did wholesale for a little bit. And I think it's another note. I think why baby kind of stuck with us at the time is because both of our wives were pregnant.
yeah,
So I think it just kind of fit hand in hand with our life and what our wives were looking for and just what we were dealing with at the time.
yeah, for sure, 100%. So you thought, okay, baby mobiles. So did that a little bit. I wasn't convinced that that was the right option just because it's a lot like clothes. Trends go in and out very quickly. You have to have a lot of inventory. A lot of stuff gets returned. So I wasn't very convinced that that was the product for us. But we did do some. And basically our first big product was when I was searching around on Etsy. I was looking at different things in the baby niche. I came across um, mobile arms to fit on the crib, and I was like, I don't remember seeing this on Amazon. And these were wooden ones. I don't remember seeing these on Amazon. Let me go check Amazon. And so I checked Amazon and saw that there were absolutely no wooden ones. And at that time, I was like, well, Travis, why don't we Well, we make one. And remember our first one, it was
Yeah,
terrible.
I'll see if I can find a
Yeah.
picture and throw it up here. I think
A
I actually
dinky little,
I
oh
think I
my
still
goodness.
have it
I think you do
in my garage.
for sure. So, but the idea was fine. The problem was that particular design couldn't work the way that we wanted to because we didn't have the right tools. At the end of the day, that's what it boiled down to. But we can make a larger one that just required a larger box, more costly shipping, things like that. So that's what we did. And so we listed on Amazon or on Etsy and on Amazon.
Do you remember our
And
first sale we ever got on Etsy?
no, I don't.
I I'll have to see if I can find the picture and share it with everyone. But I remember it vividly because the reason we got into doing it also is because there were no one in the US
No, none in the
selling
US
it,
on Etsy.
right? And so
Yeah.
we were like, well, surely if people in Ukraine or Eastern Europe could make and sell something like this and ship it to the US and make it
And still make
profitable,
money. Yeah,
surely we could, you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
And
For
so I'm
sure.
pretty sure we made one. I put it up in my daughter's future room. She hadn't been born yet, on her crib, and took a picture with my iPhone. And I believe that was the only picture we had listed up of it at the time we
Oh,
had the
yeah.
first sale.
I looking back on it now, I'm pretty sure it was dumb luck.
Probably. We've
I'm
had a
pretty
lot of
sure it
that.
was dumb luck. Yeah. And of course that happened with our second large product as well. Dumb, stupid luck. And we thought we were the smartest people in the whole world, which false.
Yeah,
Like
very false.
you couldn't find dumber people. So
How many mobile arms were we selling? Do you remember? We
holy
were,
crap. Dude, we were killing it.
I think, on
We were killing
Amazon
it.
because we were the first one up there. Although, right when we listed them, there was
Another
another
company.
competitor, Sorrel and Fern, which
Yep, Soul and
props
Fern.
to them. They're still selling them today and
Holy
doing really
crap.
well with them.
Yeah,
So
props to them.
if
They
you
they've done. See,
if you
those are
need
smart
one,
people.
if you need one, go buy one from them. They
Yeah.
make a good product. So
Yeah, they do make a
um,
good product. But yeah, that's
we were selling what, like 600 units a month, I think.
we got up to
I think
our
August
largest.
2020 we did like 50,000 just
Yeah, we did fifty
on
thousand dollars in sales
that one product.
on the one product. Yeah. Remember, so for those of you guys that don't know us, and those that maybe do, we would stay up till sometimes 2 a.m.
Or later.
making and packaging these suckers um, all the time. Like, and then we go to sleep, wake up, and go to work, and we would, you know, do it all over again
Hmm.
2 or 3 times a week. No, no, probably 3 or 4 times a week because we were
At the
selling so
beginning.
many. Um, yeah, so yeah, that's what it was. And we did a few other little products here and there, but nothing quite as big. Came up with the one that came out of the wall. Um, are the knockoffs of that still around?
Yeah,
I don't
it's if you
I don't
ever
think they
like
sell as many.
if you've ever sold on Amazon or came up with a unique product, the funniest thing happens where all of a sudden one day you're looking around on Alibaba and you see your pictures on
Your
a
picture,
listing
your specific picture, and
that you
guarantee that these
took
people never made a single one in their whole life, but they'll sell
that
it to you and they'll figure it out.
yeah, we had several products like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, we had the Llama Mobile, which was actually a pretty good one. We
yeah, it
found a
was.
company that was selling a DIY mobile kit, and I contacted them and said, "Hey, I don't want the DIY. How much would it cost us to have you make them and send them to us?" And we did it. And then the moment we started selling them, and the moment it took off on Amazon for us or did well on Amazon for us, they started selling it as a completed thing. And so that's one example. Then the mobile arms are another example. Still to this day, you can go up there and see our pictures of mobile
Yep.
arms on there. Just crazy. But
Yeah.
so that was our first big product. The mobiles and the mobile arms were kind of where we started. But what's the anyone who knows our business or knows us knows that we have kind of carved out a little part of the Montessori toy niche with Joey Co. What is the story behind that with how your wife Jillian actually came up with that or
Yeah.
told us to look into it?
Yeah, Jillian was, oh, what year was this?
2020.
2020. It's 2020, and she was like, "Man, if I had the money, I would buy one of these Pikler triangles and slides." And she's like, you should make them and sell them." And of course, I looked at them. I'm like, "How many of these people sell 'em?" So of course, I do a little bit of research, and I'm like, "These people are selling quite a bit, and that's a good profit margin." So I was like, I did some research on wood because we never wanted to go to China for all of our products.
We still
Poor
don't,
choice, poor choice. We don't want to,
but we
but
should.
if I had to do it over again, I would very first thing I'd say, you know what? Who in China will make this for us and have excellent quality? And yeah, I'll be out some money because it takes a month to get here or whatever. But it'll be done for us. It'll be done right because they have manufacturing talent. Man, I hate to say it, but the problem is we can't go over and visit and ensure that they are using good labor practices. Whereas all the rest of our vendors that we have had is either us, and we know us, and and the one in Brazil, which I'm going to talk about in a second, and ones in Mexico, which I have personally visited, and both of us have, and we know their labor practices. We know where and who we physically taught the people that made our products in these other places, but we couldn't do that with China. So it's just morally, it's wrong. But from a business standpoint and
It's
staying
so
in
right.
business, it's what's that?
It's so right, but so
I
wrong.
know it's just so terrible that morally, often, especially in this very competitive, you know, business, you can't make the right decision morally if you want to stay in business, which is just it's terrible. But regardless, so I did some research on where most of the wood in the world comes from and blah blah blah. I came across that Brazil was a major producer of wood products and wood in general. So I had a friend in my business program that was from Brazil, and I just contacted him. I said, "Hey, do you know anybody that makes wooden products in Brazil?" And he said, "No, but I just finished up my MBA, and I'm looking to go back to Brazil and pursue a career there, and I don't have any job prospects. His family's, not poor, and he had an entrepreneurial spirit as well. And he said, you know what? I'll figure it out and I'll make these for you." All right. So it was literally the next day he was flying down to Brazil. The very next day. Like I couldn't have planned this more perfectly. So yeah, he got down there, and in his hometown, he started contacting people that had CNC experience and CNC machines, and he set up shop, and we the business, our business, borrowed $50,000 from my dad and got our first order for Christmas.
It was a little bit before Christmas. Well,
It was a little bit before
it was a
Christmas.
little bit before. I think our first sale of those was like October 19th, 2020. So technically for Christmas, I guess.
Yeah.
But props to our friend Rodrigo. That's our friend from
Yep.
Brazil.
Shout
He's
out.
still running his own business
Yeah,
down
he does
there,
great.
doing really well with the cities and municipalities down there, helping supply schools with Montessori toys and all sorts of stuff. And he's done a great job building himself a wood shop and a wood business that's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Eco Timber Toys, I think, is the name of it. So
Yep, I think so. Yeah.
we'll have to reach out to him and see if he wants to come on sometime and kind of share his
So yeah,
side of
his side of
the
the story.
story
That
and
would be
everything, and
fun.
kind of see his thoughts about everything. But yeah, it's I guess just going further down the road with everything. Yeah, we got them to make our mobile arms too, right?
Oh
And
yeah, that's right.
so they were making everything for us because the idea was, well, it's our design. We came up with it. So under the Etsy rules
Guidelines. Yep.
and guidelines, we still were able to do it because it was our design. So we were the creator of it. Um, so we gave him our designs of everything and he made it for us and it seemingly did well. That first Chris, I think we kind of got lucky getting into the niche when we did. It was still young enough
Yeah.
that we were able to compete on an even footing, but it was popular enough because COVID, everyone was staying inside. So parents were looking for ways to allow their kids to play inside. And the Pikler and Montessori toys and lifestyle kind of lend itself perfect to this. So it's kind of the perfect storm whenever we launched those
Yeah.
products in October of 2020.
Yep. And
Um,
there again, we thought we were the smartest SOBs on planet Earth, but we were not.
I mean, there's some intelligence to the way we were successful, but a lot of it was luck, and I think a lot of success is
Yeah,
built on luck.
there's some, yeah, definitely an aspect of luck in almost anything business related,
So
timing and everything
so
else.
thinking about that first Christmas, what sticks out to you the most? Good. Let's start with the best part and then the worst part.
We made Black Friday of that year. What did we do? 50,
I
$60,000 in one
I'll
singular
I'll
day?
flash up the number on the screen because it's ridiculous. I
It
think it
was
was around
large.
$70,000.
Yeah, I think between Amazon, Etsy, a website, and everything. Yeah, I
It
think it was
was
close
it
to
was
70.
something ridiculous, and we thought we were the coolest thing ever. It was a great feeling that I don't know if I'll ever have again, but it was a very cool feeling to see something you've been building for over a year do so well. There were a couple things with that Christmas that kind of gave me ulcers and a lot of heartburn. Everything we'll share seems great and feels great, but then it's followed very quickly with oh crap
Reality check.
moments and reality checks, right? So we get off our high horse, and mind you, a lot of our inventory at this time is still in transit from Brazil. We literally have to our customers a 3 week shipping time frame because all the Montessori toys at that time were 4 or 5 weeks out to ship. And we were like, we'll ship it to you before Christmas and it'll arrive before Christmas because we had something like 500 or 600 units that were on a boat. And little did we know at the time it was stuck in Colombia for over a month.
No, I think that was 2021.
No, that was 2020. We weren't
Was it
using Rodrigo in
2020?
20. Yeah.
That's
And so
right.
that's
That's
the
right.
year we had to convince Rodrigo and his team to work like 5 days
Expedite.
straight, 24 hours around the clock to expedite and overnight on a plane like 500 units of our product so we could ship it out and get it to the customers. And literally, I think that shipment arrived at our third party warehouse and was checked in on like the 15th of December.
Yeah.
And if anyone's sold a product around Christmas, you know the cutoff is usually like the 15th of December, which is a little lenient because they usually can deliver a lot faster. Um, but yeah, so that was one of the biggest headaches. And if we didn't get that, then we definitely wouldn't be having a business right now.
Oh, for sure.
We would have been refunding thousands of dollars and been out
Yeah.
thousands of dollars. Um,
You have any, you remember how much that plane cost?
I think it was like 20 grand, right?
Yeah, it was 20 grand.
Yeah, all because our stuff was stuck in Colombia for a month. And the
I don't know
bad
what the
thing is,
cartels were doing with it.
they should have. No, I'm not going to say
Yeah.
that on the podcast, but they should have hooked it up a little, if you know what I
Yeah, a
mean.
little bit for all the time. And the problem is with that, remember it was hot and it was humid and hot in Colombia,
Yeah, so
and
product got mildew.
yeah, product got mildewy. And when we did receive it, it missed, what did they tell us? It missed two boats before it
Yeah,
got on a boat to come to us in Florida in that at that time.
yeah,
Um, she
it
was
was
it, that was a
it was
nightmare.
a headache.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but anyways, moving a little bit forward in the story, at this time, COVID was in full swing. And right about the time we got that shipment from Colombia at the beginning of 2021, I think Brazil looked like it was going on like a strict lockdown or like transit
Yeah.
out of Brazil wasn't going to be a thing.
Yep.
So we were kind of scrambling to figure out what to do, right?
Yep.
Like, how do we get
Yep.
more products so we don't have to shut our business down? Yeah. And so the next thing we did was we contacted someone at a company
Mm.
that Nate worked with, and we said, we're and so the company that Nate worked for at the time, NCS Multistage, had a joint venture with a company in Mexico. And just on the other side of the border in Juarez from El Paso. And we were like, hey, do you know anyone in Mexico that could make this product? It's a quick trip. We could literally jump on a plane, be in Mexico in the morning, and come back that night. Um, do you know anyone that we could talk to who could make this stuff for us? Right. And that's how we got our next connection with our friend Juan, um, or our friend. I don't. He's a good guy. Just
He's a great guy.
learning experiences for everyone with using them. Um, but yeah, we used them for the year 2021. Um, had our hiccups because the people we were using didn't have as much experience with woodworking, and just kind of the companies they used to help them kind of gave them the runaround and didn't really help them as much as they should have, which led to some issues with quality and speed of shipping and employee issues there. But I do have to say I mean, they were pretty crafty with getting stuff shipped to us. I guess crafty is a word. There was this town we visited, Esperanza. No one that listens to this is probably ever going to have been there or ever will go there, and
Nope.
I don't recommend it.
Do
Um,
not go there.
so
Do not go there. It's
yeah,
it's a scary place.
yeah,
It can be a scary place.
it's ran 100% by the cartel.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. We've been there,
luckily, we never had any
saw everything.
issues, but
But remember that shop?
yeah,
Remember that shop they set up? It
yeah,
was literally a shack,
with
okay?
dirt floors,
With dirt. There was part of it was
some
concrete,
concrete.
part of it
Yeah,
was dirt. And they you know what? I will have to say this. The employees there were very grateful to have a job.
yeah,
Like truthfully, because their only options are join the cartel or ride an what hour and a half, 2 hour bus ride
to Juarez.
to Juarez and to have a job there and then work all day and then 2 hours back home. So they would probably get up, be, working or be ready for work about 6 a.m. and work probably until maybe they get home at 9. So
Hmm.
they were extremely grateful for a job. The biggest problem was their quality wasn't good. And so we couldn't continue to use them, which
Yeah,
really bites, right? I mean, we want to do right by our employees. Well, extension our employees, right? Um, so yeah, it was an interesting place. They
I
yeah.
I do have to say that one of the biggest blessings or one of the biggest joys that has been brought to my life through everything has been the impact we've been able to have with the business. And I think this is going to be a good spot to kind of pause and then we'll do a second episode because this has kind of gone on longer. You never know how much you're going to talk about something until you actually get talking about it. But one of the blessings of entrepreneurship to me is just the impact you have in so or you can have in so many areas, right? I think about everything we've done between helping employ upwards of 30 people in Brazil that first Christmas to helping employ those people in Esperanza, helping friends or people acquaintances start businesses and live out entrepreneurial dreams, um, helping people from our local church congregations with work when they were looking for work and seeing them be fulfilled in the work that they were doing to help us out. And then
Yeah,
also
and
just the
yeah, people remember the Afghans.
we
I mean,
helped,
they're terrible situation. And luckily, we were able to give, a handful of them a job
yeah, back
that they wouldn't have
whenever,
had the opportunity. And
yeah,
and
back
they
whenever,
still contact us to today, right?
mhm,
They reach out every now and then. Hey, how's it
yeah,
going?
yeah,
Like, there's no way we could have done that otherwise, really.
yeah,
Like even if you just give them like I don't know, a couple $1,000, which is very generous. There's no way you could have the impact of giving somebody a job, right?
mhm. Yeah,
I
that was
just
a great
wish,
one.
yeah, I just wish that we had the customers to continue to do that to today. And that's, I guess, leading into the next episode. But
I
yeah,
will
that's
say, if I could interject,
yeah. Go ahead.
you said the customers, and I'm going to pick a bone here that I don't think customers are the problem. And we could get into like the dynamics of it, but
Well,
anyone who's
I
ever
just
started a
wish
business in retail understands that it could be a race to the bottom. And that's what we've encountered that we'll
for
talk
sure,
about in the next episode is just the
for
race
sure.
to the
But
bottom on price.
there are a lot of companies out there that are able to charge more because of their branding because they, have superior branding, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and I wish people understood our story, I guess, to where we could continue to offer people like that jobs.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we haven't been able to because, you know, lots of Chinese companies came into the market on Amazon, and honestly, they're still killing it on Amazon to today. If they can make money, I'm not quite sure how they're making much money, if any, on Amazon, but they're doing something. So taking all everybody's profit to
Yeah.
stay in business, but still, yeah. I mean, hopefully we can post this on social media and maybe to our page or something and
Yeah.
see if it resonates with people. Hey, we try to do morally good and right things when making these products.
Mhm.
So,
And I think this, like I said, this episode I'll probably title something like "The Rise of Joey Co." or you know what I mean. And the next one maybe we'll talk about the demise or kind of what's happened the last couple years with Joey Co. And kind of the future, what it might look like. And we could finish it off in the next episode. But I just want to thank everyone who's watched today or listened today. If you enjoyed it, give us a like, follow us
follow
or
us,
subscribe, whatever the function is on Spotify or YouTube or wherever you're listening and
podcast.
consuming.
Yep.
Share us with your friends. We greatly appreciate it.